Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will Dengler from Lux Listings Tahoe. Please follow on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. I'm a real estate agent, Lake Tahoe, flip, develop work, proponent of affordable housing, multifamily investment work. And one of my favorite shows that I've watched over the last 5 years to help increase my development intellectually from a consciousness perspective and increase my finance knowledge, entrepreneurship skills is impact theory. The CEO of Quest Health has a show that he's been doing for years to increase consciousness and raise the impact of what we can do on this world through education. And financial literacy is a huge part of it. A new episode came out today, and spent some time watching it, and he brought on a gentleman who really came from the trap and all the way to Wall Street, and they had a frank discussion about what's going on in the economy right now. The government doesn't want to label that we are in a recession, but the reality is we are in a textbook recession. We have had 2 quarters of declining GDP, and obviously interest rates are impacted. We've got, inflation that the government's trying to curb. So they increase the Fed funds rate, which will have that impact on dropping the inflation rate. But the issue there is that interest rates are going up across the board, right? So what we find in the housing market is that we have got an oversupply of listings. Listings are hanging longer. There's less competition to drive price higher. And we've had a market relatively go out of control, especially in Tahoe in the last couple of years, where so many people were moving out of the Bay Area. We had interest rates that were low, combined with the factor that people were working from home and could now buy a home in Tahoe and work remote. And why not look at the lake whenever you're working from home and you can get out for an hour for a jog at lunch, et cetera, et cetera. But, what it has done is slowed down the amount of buyers that are on the market. So a lot of people are just stopping and hitting the button right now, the pause button. And it's not necessary. If you are going to leverage a bank's money to buy a property, whether the rate is at 5 or the rate is at 7, you're not using your money. You're using your ability to qualify for a loan to buy a property. If you're trying to buy a property and you want to have less competition, get more credits for interest rate or closing costs to limit your out-of-pocket expenses, it's the move. You're going to have less competition whenever you make offers right now. Conversely, it's a little tougher for sellers to sell their property quickly. And if you're going to sell your property, you have to work with a proficient agent who knows how to market your property using cutting-edge techniques. You want to have your 3D tours done. You want to have a solid video done. Actors, actresses involved or not. I prefer the previous version. And doing very strong digital marketing, mail marketing, the open houses, door knocking, calling, texting, and voicemailing homes in the area. It's super necessary if you're going to have any results in selling your property right now. The whole goal, if you're familiar, is if you just stick a property up on the multiple listing service with a friend who's a realtor who has a full-time job, and it just gets exposure on that MLS. That MLS right now, with the active buyers that it had a year ago, has slowed down. The buyers that are looking for property are much more hesitant, right? So getting a much larger exposure, especially to potential buyers that are, say it's a Tahoe property or a Sacramento property. If you're not exposing that property to buyers in the Bay Area, even down on the coast a little bit, areas that are moving up, potentially even out of state, advertising your listing to people that are moving into the area where you're buying or where you're selling your property at, you're selling yourself short. If you're going to pay the same amount of commission to Joe Blow, who's not full-time and does not have a technical edge on their marketing like a fast real estate agent would, or someone that was trained by me or my firm or my partner Chris, you're selling yourself short. You've got to pay the commission anyways. Pay with someone who knows how to get it in front of as many potential buyers as possible. you've got to have a multi-pronged approach. It's got to be multi-tiered marketing strategies and in front of everybody's face. People have got to walk through the property when they live in another city. So having those 3D scans done, high impact video is super necessary. You know, we talk about the recession idea. You know, a lot of people, as I said, in the government are trying to avoid saying recession. They don't want to scare people. It's word games. The only people that are really going to pop out on this, on the other side of it, are people who understand how to navigate in a recession. And, you know, it was talked about in that impact theory today. You know, four most important things that people need to understand about money right now. Number one, they need to learn how to spend. That means no impulse buying, especially in this recession. You don't need to have every pair of Jordans. You need to not buy things, like I said, no things that you don't need. Buy what you need, save, and learn how to save really is the number two. You need to know how to put your money aside and save, gain equity. If you're going to move money from a non-performing stock account into a down payment on a home, that may not appreciate in crazy value over the next year, year and a half, 2 years while rates are doing what they're doing. At least you're going to have a property positioned well that's going to afford you and your family the luxuries that you need right now, or the amenities that you need, rather, if you're steering away from luxuries, and you're able to have that property, it will recover. Real estate, 10 over a year, decade over decade after decade, is increasing in value. You know, use that opportunity to buy. There are a lot of people that did not get to close escrow in the last couple of years because they got throttled and knocked out of escrow after escrow after escrow. This is their time. You're going to write off mortgage interest. Do the research, consult your CPA. There's several things that you're able to write off in your payment there. People are able to change their withholdings on their tax returns. Of course, like I just said, consult your CPA. Put more money in your hand. You're writing off interest one way or another, primary residence. And that there is learning how to save as well, right? It's a lateral move of assets to be able to put your cash into an appreciating asset. Even if that appreciation is super slow, there's a strong chance, no matter, you know, depending on where you're buying in Northern California or Tahoe, that you're able to outpace what you would make in a savings account or a rather low average stock account, especially if you're looking at year over year blended averages of your stock accounts or your mutual funds. Again, this is all stuff to study, but don't let this market cause fear for you. It really is necessary to make strong moves for you and your family. Like I said, learning how to save, learning how to invest, the other point, and learning how to borrow. These things are all tied together. Strategically put yourself in a position to where you're going to come out on the recession on the other side, and you're not going to be involved in the bloodbath that can potentially occur if people don't follow basic financial tips and learn how to tighten their belt, survive, and make correct purchases that are going to help increase their financial security for they and their family as we come out of this. Feel free to call me anytime. My number is 916-281-7706. I've got a 530 for all the Tahoe people as well, but just use that 916. Again, follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. This will be up there as well. We'll be dropping it in LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, all the way across the board. I'm here for you guys. Don't buy into the word games. Don't buy into the fear. Do not let fear run your life. Obviously, we know the old Sith adages of fear, anger, all lead to the path of the dark side. And we want everybody walking in the light and happy with very solid financials here as we get through this. And I'm your guy. Lux Listings Tahoe, coming to you from Tahoe City. Thank you for your time. And please share this. We want to get this information out to people and help whoever we can with our skill set. So thank you and take care.